Good morning, dear students. This is Mr. Sanjay from Belgaum, a new teacher for your class 6 to teach English. Okay, and today we are going to learn togetherly Tansen. Staying at home, you can also study, concentrate on the topic what is being taught. And we are going to learn today from the book 2 named A Pact with the Sun. And the name of the lesson is Tansen. Okay, now let's know about the 5 points here, what we are going to cover here. First is topic at glance, that is reading of a lesson. Second is difficult words into simple words. So some difficult words will come which are new for you. Okay, that will come to in a simple form so that it will be easy for you to understand and write. Main points or ideas of the lesson. Explanatory method is a concept clarity. So it will be explained you similarly or simultaneously so that your concept will be clear and what is the lesson about. Okay, so we are going to start with the lesson by name Tansen. Now, who knows about Tansen? Tansen was the only child of his parents. Okay, he was the only child of his parents. He was a well-known musician in the future. Remember this. And only child means a single child. Naughty but talented. He was also naughty, also disturbing, making fun, this, that, and all, but also sharp and clever. Was very sharp and clever. He imitated the calls of birds and animals perfectly. So, as how the animals used to do the sound, the birds used to do the sound, he also was happy doing the same sound and giving response to the animals and birds. Okay. Once he tried to frighten a group of travelers by roaring like a tiger. So once the group of travelers were going, the people in a group, and he made a roaring sound of a tiger. That made they got afraid and they started to run or scatter. Scatter means here and there. Okay, and were confused. So this is how you can see he was naughty, he was also talented, imitating the sound of birds and animals, and a well-known musician, and the only child for the parents. Let's know about the lesson. You may have heard the name of Tansen, the greatest musician our country has produced. He is a well-known musician. Okay, he is a well-known musician of our country, India. A singer called Mukundan Misra and his wife lived in Behar near Gwalior. So who are the parents here now? Mukundan Misra. Mukundan Misra. M-I-S-R-A. Misra. And his wife. Okay. They lived in where? Lived in Behat. B-E-H-A-T. Behat is in which place? It is in Gwalior. Gwalior. It is in Gwalior, Behat. Tansen was their only child and he was the son of their Mukundan and his wife. Mukundan was also known for music. Okay. Similarly, he was called as a singer and Tansen was born to them. Tansen was born to them. And it is said that he was naughty child. Often he ran away to play in the forest. So Tansen was a very naughty. He used to run in the forest here and there and keep on playing, dancing, jumping, making fun of others, or keep on doing some funny things. Okay, and learned to imitate perfectly the calls of birds and animals. He also tried to tease and make fun of animals and birds, and in the way he learned how to make the sound that is produced by the animals, as well as birds. Such was a creature or character called Tansen. Not creature, a character Tansen. A famous singer named Swami Haridas once traveling through the forest with his disciples. Now there was a person named Swami Haridas. Okay, he was also very popular in singing and he was traveling with his group of people. Let's see what happened. They were his disciples. Disciples means students. Okay, disciples means students. Right, the group settled down to rest in a shady grove. So they wanted to take a shelter in the shade of a tree. Okay. So he told to the group, get settled down. Settle down means take a rest for some time. In the shady grove where there is a pleasant shadow fallen over there. Okay. Tansen saw them and Tansen saw these people taking shelter under a big tree in the grassy field. Strangers in the forest, he said to himself, It will be fun to frighten them. So seeing the strangers in the forest means strangers means they are unknown people, they are travelers. So he thought, let me make fun of these people and make them to run. He hid behind a tree and roared like a tiger. So he was hiding himself behind the tree and started to roar like a tiger, making a sound of a tiger. Okay, the little group of travelers scattered in fear, but Swami Haridas called them together. So all the disciple students started to run here and there. They scattered, they started to spread here and there. But the Swami Haridas was very intellectual. He called them back again. Then, don't be afraid, he said. Tigers are not always dangerous. So don't get afraid of tigers. They are always not a danger animal. Okay. Let us look for this one. Let us find out where is the tiger. Suddenly one of his men saw a small boy hiding behind a tree, and one of the men saw among the group that the boy hiding behind a tree and making a sound of a tiger. There are no tigers here, master, he said, only this naughty boy. And he told to the master, who is Master Swami Haridas, the teacher, and told that, sir, there is no any tiger here. Here is a boy who is hiding himself behind a tree and making a sound of tiger. Okay. Tansen learned music from Swami Haridas for 11 years. This is how they came friendly, and then Tansen learned the music and singing from whom? From Swami Haridas for 11 years. He stayed with a holy man called Muhammad Ghas, and there was a holy man, okay, from Islam community. He was called Muhammad Ghas. He was also giving him some guidance, and also he stayed along with him. He married Hussaini. Then after he married a wife named Hussaini, one of the ladies in the court of Rani Mriganaini, and she was in the court of Mriganaini Rani. So Mriganaini was a queen, and in her court she was a maid servant. She was a maid servant, and her name was Hussaini. Her name was a Hussaini, and Tansen got married with her. Let's see in the part 2 what happens now. Now already you have come to know Swami Haridas became a teacher for whom Tansen. Tansen became a disciple for him. He also followed the one of the holy man saint called Muhammad Ghas. Then after he came with the meet of Hussaini and he got married Hussaini. Hussaini was working in the court of Queen Rani Mriganaini. Okay. Now let's see next. Swami Haridas did not punish him. So Swami Haridas did not punish him. He went to Tansen's father and said, your son is very naughty. He is also very talented. I think I can make him a good singer. So he told to his father, who is Tansen's father, who the teacher Swami Haridas, your son is naughty but very intellectual. He produces the sounds of animals and birds. And if you give him under me, I can make him to sing properly and make him to go for Riyaz. Riyaz means to practice. Okay, and can make a good singer. Tansen was 10 years old when he went away with Swami Haridas, and just 10 years old he left the home and went with Swami Haridas and stayed with Haridas, a great singer. At about his time, his parents died, and by the time you can see that is the destiny, no one can stay for anyone, and as of the time comes, everyone has to leave this earth, all are temporary. Okay, so his parents were no more after he became a 10-year-old. At about his time, his parents died. Mukaddam Misra's dying wish was that Tansen should visit Muhammad Ghas of Gwalior. So, Mukaddam Misra, his father, was having only one expectation. What is that? Tansen should go and visit Muhammad Ghas, the Islamic prophet or Islamic teacher. Okay, or you can call as a saint. Wants to visit him. And while living in Gwalior with Muhammad Ghas, Tansen was often taken to the court of Rani Mriganaini, who was a great musician herself. So, when he was living with now in the next stage, that is with Muhammad Ghas, the holy person from Islam religion, he was being taken to Rani Mriganaini in the court. And she was also a well-known singer, and Tansen was often taken to the court of Rani Mriganaini. One of the ladies of the court, her name was Hussaini, and there he met and married one of the lady who was in the court of Rani Mriganaini. Her name was Hussaini. So he got married with Hussaini. Then Hussaini also became Swami Haridas' disciple, and now Hussaini also started to follow with her husband and became a student of Haridas, Swami Haridas. Tansen and Hussaini had 5 children and who were all very musical. So they had 5 children, they all were musical. Musical means knowing for singing and playing of instruments, etc. All about the musical part. Tansen had by his time became very famous, and Tansen became now very famous and popular singer. Sometimes he sang before Emperor Akbar, and it came an opportunity for him, and he sang a song in front of a King Akbar, okay, who was so impressed by him that he insisted Tansen should join his court. And this is how he was very much impressed and liked the song of whose of Tansen. And he was being called and told to join the court of Akbar. You know, Akbar was a very popular king in the medieval period of Mughal Empire. Of Mughal Empire. Okay, or during the Mughal rule. Let's see now the important points of this part 2. Tansen became a favorite in Akbar's court. This is the first. Second point, once he was asked to sing Raga Deepak. He was also told to sing Raga Deepak. Raga Deepak is a musical note. It's a musical note. Tansen asked his daughter and her friend to sing Raga Megha. Megha Raja, Raga Megha means once you start singing, they say that the rain will fall. So it is called as a Raga Megha, a note of a music. After Raga Deepak, and then after it was said after that Raga Deepak. Deepak means lighting of the lamp, which gives a light to everyone. Okay? Then, to counteract the effect of the later, because it will always attack on the darkness and gives the light to everyone. That was the counter effect, which says of the later. So Raga Deepaka, Raga Megha, and Raga, which were being found in a different names, were all being made to practice and were sung by him in the court of Akbar with the help of Rani Mruganaini also in her court, and he also came in the meet with a lady who was working under her, Hussaini, and got married with Hussaini. This is the life of Tansen. Now we are coming to the part 3 of Tansen. Tansen went to Akbar's court in 1556, and soon became a great favorite of the emperor, and he also became a very favorite musician of Akbar. Akbar would call upon Tansen to sing at any time during the day or night. So Akbar was very fond of Tansen. He used to call him in the daytime, in the night time, in the morning, as how he want, and he used to tell him, please sing a song for me. This is how. Quite often he would just walk into Tansen's house to hear him practice. So always he used to go to Tansen's house also to listen his practice also. Whenever he used to do practice, riyaz. Okay. He also gave him many presents. So many gifts were given to Tansen by the King Akbar. Okay, he was fond of music. Some of the courtiers became jealous of Tansen. This made some of them got jealous and angry on Tansen because Tansen was liked by Akbar and Tansen was given many gifts. Okay, we shall never be able to rest till Tansen is ruined, they declared. So they were discussing and planning. Till we remove Tansen from the court of Akbar and make him to run away, we can't sleep. We have to plan something for Akbar. We have to plan something for Tansen to make him to leave the place. And one of the courtiers, Shaukat Mia, had a big, bright idea, and there was a person named Shaukat Mia, and he thought of bringing some ideas. Let's see what he does. Let us make him sing Raga Deepak, he said, and he told, if you know, sing Raga Deepak. We want to know how you sing Raga Deepak. Okay, how will that help us? Asked another man. Another man asked him, if we say to sing Raga Deepak, what is going to happen? How it will help to us? If Raga Deepak is properly sung, it makes the air so hot that the singer is burnt to ashes. So if you sing Raga Deepak, what will happen? The air will become hot. In those days, it was said like traditionally. And the person who is singing will get burnt into the hot air. Tansen is a very good singer. If he sings Raga Deepak, he will die and we will be rid of him. And I know Tansen is a very good singer. And if he sings Raga Deepak, what will happen? He will get burnt himself in the hot air and he will die. And we will be free from him. He can sing. Of course, he can sing it. Tansen can sing anything. Yes, the other people said, of course, he is a very good singer and he can sing it, no doubt. Akbar said, Tansen was afraid but could not disobey the prepare myself. So, Akbar said, come on. Tansen was afraid but could not disobey the king. And as our Akbar told, he had to listen. He was afraid, but he has to follow the king Akbar. Let's see. Very well, my lord, he said, but give me time to prepare myself. I will sing, but give some time to prepare. Make me do some riyaz or practice. Tansen went home. He had never been more downcast and unhappy. Tansen went home. He was been thinking. He was never put down or he was never unhappy in his life. And I can sing the raga, he told his wife, but the heat it gives off will not only set the lamp alight, it will also burn me to ashes. So he was thinking of, but if I sing this Deepak Raga, what will happen? The heat will not only turn the lights or the lamps, but it will also burn me into ashes. Even I may get burnt into the ashes. Then he had an idea. If someone sings Raga Megha at the same time and sings it properly, it will bring rain. Perhaps our daughter Saraswati and her friend Rupavati could do it, he said. And so he planned for that. If somebody sings along with the Raga Deepaka, Raga Megha, Megha is a lyric based on the song. The Raga or the note is based on song. When I am singing for the hot air and the sun, the Deepaka to light, somebody will sing of who? About a rain, about a megha. And what will happen? Then I may not get burnt and even the hot air can also become cool breeze. Okay? And we will have both the songs and the lyrics at a time. And who is going to do the Raga Megha? Daughter Saraswati and her friend Rupavati could do it, he said. So both of them are also been taken to the court of Akbar. As how he is going to sing Raga Deepak, his daughter Saraswati and her friend Rupavati are going to sing the Raga Megha. He taught the two girls to sing Raga Megha and he gave them practice to sing Raga Megha. And they practiced night and day for 2 weeks and this is how 2 weeks practice was done. He did himself Raga Deepaka and also taught the Raga Megha for the daughter Saraswati as well as her friend Rupavati. Tansen told them, you must wait till the lamp start burning and then you start singing. So when he starts singing Raga Deepak, the lamps will start burning and the light will be spread everywhere. And immediately as how it gets lighted lamp, you have to sing Raga Megha. Okay? To save me from the hot burning air and hot climate. Both ragas were sung according to plan. This is how the point was. So both of them did a plan, daughter and father, and along with the daughter's friend, and they went to the court and sung both the ragas. Akbar punished Tansen's enemies. And who were the Tansen enemies who were trying to kill Tansen? They were being punished by Akbar when he came to know the idea behind it. Okay, Tansen died in 1585 and Tansen died at last in year 1585. This is about part 3. Now part 4. The legend goes that on the appointed day, the whole town assembled to hear Tansen sings Raga Deepaka. So this story came everywhere to the town that today Raga Deepaka is sung by whom? Is going to be sung by Tansen. So let us go and enjoy and know the spirit of Raga Deepak sung by Tansen. When he began to sing, the air became warm. As we started to sing, the air became totally warm. Soon people in the audience were bathed in perspiration. People were bathed in perspiration. They started to get sweatings. Okay. And they started to get perspiration. Perspiration means sweating. Okay. The leaves on the trees dried up and fell to the ground. Even the trees also, the branches stems got dried and fallen. The leaves started to fallen. The flowers started to fallen. The fruit started to fallen. And as the music continued, birds fell died. Even when he started to sing, even the birds also started to fall and die of the heat. And the water in the rivers began to boil. And the water in the river started to warm and boil as if we keep in the kettle water on a stove. Same way. People cried out in terror. They were afraid now and shouting as flames shot up out of nowhere and lighted the lamps. And as the flames started to take a brightening and light out of the lamps, and they were afraid now what to do. It was overheating and over burning. At once Saraswati and Drupadi began to sing Raga Mega. Immediately then the support was given with the love and cooperation the daughter and her friend Drupadi and daughter named Saraswati started to sing Raga Megha. When they started to sing Raga Megha, what happened? The sky clouded over and the rain came down. The sky clouded, it started to thunder, thud, 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 thud. And what happened? The rain started to fall. The god of rain, Indra, started to shower rain. Tansen was saved, and this is how Tansen was saved from the Raga Deepaka. The story goes that he was very ill after this, and after the Raga Deepak was over, he was with a temperature and was lying on a bed. And Akbar was sorry that he had caused him so much suffering. And Akbar was feeling sorry that I simply made you to sing Raga Deepak. I was not knowing what is behind this, the intention of the people. And because of me, you are suffering now fever and sickness. He punished Tansen's enemies and he called the people the enemies of Tansen and gave them a punishment. When Tansen got well, the entire city rejoiced. And as how Tansen got recovered from the illness and sickness, again the people were very happy because the musician is coming to the court and is again going to sing the song or perform some different music. Tansen remained Akbar's court singer till 1585 till his death. So up to 1585 when he died, till then he remained in the court of Akbar and he was a loyal employee. Loyal means Sabhya, Pramanikate. Okay. Tansen remained Akbar court singer till 1585 when he died and he died in year 1585. He composed several new ragas. Then after he started to make some new ragas. Okay, as how it was a Deepak Raga, Megha Raga. Okay, like that some different ragas were being made by him and practiced and composed and kept for the other peoples who comes in the field of music. Tansen's tomb is in Gwalior. So his graveyard is also found or the tomb in the Gwalior. It is a place of pilgrimage for musicians and those who are fond of music and musicians. It is a place as a pilgrim, like a temple for them. They can go over there and can also recite or practice some music sitting in the tomb of Tansen. This is all about the lesson by name Tansen. I hope everyone has understood it clearly. So please read the lesson, underline the difficult words which I told you in between, okay, and make familiar with them and also try to read the notes which are given back of the text. Okay, by today we are concluding here. Thank you and bye bye. Have a nice day.